नीचे दिए हुए लाल बटन पर क्लिक करके इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और घंटी के बटन को क्लिक करना ना भूलें। बीकेटी मीडिया प्राइवेट लिमिटेड। Namaskar, this is Shilpa Bhawana presenting my heartiest welcome to all of you in your favorite talk series, Chartered Accountants, The Growth Gears. It is presented by the Committee for Members in Industry and Business, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India.
The ICI and its members are committed to excellence, independence and integrity. The Institute takes pride in being a partner in nation building. This year, ICI is honored to host the 21st World Congress of Accountants in Mumbai. About 6,000 delegates physically and more than 10,000 delegates virtually from about 135 countries are expected to attend this Olympics of Accountants, which India is proudly hosting for the first time in more than 100 years history of the Congress. I cordially invite all the stakeholders to grace the occasion and witness the mega event.
Friends, hard work is the core quality to attain the qualification of Chartered Accountancy. It's a strong purpose. And when you live for a strong purpose, then hard work is not an option. It's a necessity. And today we are going to meet a lady who by hearts this quality. And with the same quality, today she is adorning the leadership position in the industry. My dear friends, we are going to meet the CEO of Standard Chartered India, Miss Zarin B Daruwala. And yes, she is a chartered accountant. I'm very happy about it.
Being a true example of a woman leader, CA Zarin B Daruwala honors a career of 33 years across corporate banking, retail banking, agri-finance, corporate planning, investment banking and credit. She is a gold medalist chartered accountant and a recipient of the Zee Business Achiever Award conferred by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. She has proven herself as a global professional who is taking India to newer heights.
Most welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
You know, when I see the chartered accountants like you, especially the women who are making this kind of dominance in the industry, I just get to understand that when a lady steps out with the qualification of a chartered accountancy in hand, how much do you appreciate it and how much welcoming the industry is when a lady with the CA qualification enters into the field?
Frankly, I don't think there's a difference between a CA lady or a CA man.
So they're just the professionals.
Yeah, I think we are professionals, and the CA degree certainly arms you very, very substantially. The way the industry perceives a first attempt, a rank holder CA, there's quite a bit of awe, if I was to say the word, if you're a rank holder CA, and clearly you're very well accepted. So I wouldn't say anything to do with a woman or a man.
Yeah, it's just the professional
It's just
doing
the
their
professional.
best.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So ma'am, if I talk about you, you are a rank holder chartered accountant. You are also the recipient of President's Gold Medal for Company Secretary, like for topping the examination of Company Secretary. So like banking was a natural choice for you, or like there was some kind of inspiration that drove you to over here?
So I actually qualified in November 1988 in an era where there was no internet, no email, no ATM, no, you know, even if you wanted to know the company's financials, you didn't have the results of a company easily accessible. So you generally talk to people, vice counsel, etc.
Yes.
So when I qualified, actually I went to Mr. Malegam, I think one of the most renowned professionals and chartered accountants, and he was the partner where I did my articleship. And because I was a rank holder CA, I got a few offers. And he said, look at ICICI Limited, it's a great place for women. And I obviously went by his advice, I interviewed and I got selected, and that's how I landed up in ICICI. And I would say really I've enjoyed thoroughly my stint there over 25 years. And in that 25 years, banking has evolved so substantially, whether it's ATM, debit card, credit card, home loans.
The computerization,
the whole internet banking, and I mean, it's evolved so rapidly, and banks have become so dominant sort of force in the Indian ecosystem. So it gives you a view from the perch, which I think I've thoroughly enjoyed.
So you have got an aerial view of any kind of situation where you are in, and you are like just ready to conquer any kind of challenge, especially when you have the qualification of CA.
Absolutely.
So that helps, really,
Yes,
the CA qualification.
Absolutely.
So how do you see this qualification helping you out in your journey in wherever field you have been, and you see this as a kind of a stepping stone towards your career?
So I would say first and foremost, CA really prepares you in the way that you're doing articleship with, giving you exams. So the perseverance, the grit, the resilience that it builds in your articleship days, because those days we used to do, and even I'm sure it's now, 9 to 5 you would do articleship, and then you would be sort of studying and giving your exams, and I was doing CA and CS together. So it was tough, but it instills that ability to work hard, the resilience, the perseverance.
And that remains with you throughout your career?
Yes, that remains throughout. The second, I think, benefit of doing CA, I would say, is that your familiarity with numbers and your ability to interpret balance sheets and profit and loss accounts comes very easily to you. Ability to deal with numbers, cash flows. So it's not only about when you're analyzing a credit to a corporate, but even when you're looking at your own company's numbers, when you're doing reviews of performance, financial performance, your comfort with numbers is very high when you're a chartered accountant, and I feel that has really helped me personally.
So that's a strength.
Yes, that's a strength.
So when you look on like any kind of document or anything, you just scan it in a go, and you just know that what is the health of the organization.
Absolutely. Not so easily, but it definitely enables you to understand financial performance well, I would say. It's just a strength that you build. The other good thing about articleship is someday you're auditing a manufacturing company, someday you're auditing a bank, someday you're auditing an insurance company. So the different industries that you land up going to gives you a different perspective, Of course, those days it was not as computerized as it is today, but still I would say the stock audits were very exciting sometimes, where you get to see actually what the shop floor looks like, etc. So those were very interesting experiences I would have. And I would say very, very high quality of seniors that we had, very memorable memories from those.
How has been your experience dealing with the institute? Because once you were just there to study, to get trained, and now you are the member and you have got a say over there. So what's the difference you see now?
Given my job sort of demands, I would say I've not been very actively involved. But I'm extremely grateful to the Institute for having conferred on me the CA Business Achiever Award.
Yes.
That's something that I really treasure, coming from my alma mater.
Yes.
And being put in the company along with people who are like Keki Mistry, who's got it, and Vallabh Bansali, and many other people who really achieved something in life. I would say I feel very grateful to the Institute.
When we talk about especially the chartered accountants who are practicing right now, so how do you see this digitization working for them? Because actually when we say about the audit and everything, you have to go, you have to see the documentation and everything, and now everything is on one click. Even the signatures are digital. So what do you have to say about it?
So I would say that knowledge of technology is imperative for chartered accountants, and especially in audit. Last 2 years, most of them had to do audit based on access to the systems and not a physical on-site audit. And to that extent, I would say it's been tough for the chartered accountants who are auditing also. But that's, I guess, in a way, ensuring that, you know, a lot of remote working, etc., kind of continues. And I would say that as chartered accountants, it's very, very important to be sort of very
equipped with the IT
topical
knowledge,
on the technology developments, etc.
Over the last few years, the glass ceiling is breaking and more women are climbing the stairs of success. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has taken several steps to encourage and inspire women to take up CA as a profession.
As ICI enters its 74th year and India is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the role of chartered accountants cannot be more emphasized. Today, our membership is not just restricted to attestation function, but are doing various business roles in the capacity of CFOs, CHOs, CTOs, CXOs. I'm extremely delighted that our chartered accountants have left no stone unturned, either in India or abroad, to ensure that the flag of the profession keeps flying high.
Women possess a broader array of skills, strengths and capabilities and must therefore acquire the very top slot and top spot in terms of excellence, professionalism, speed, quality and predictability. It is an endeavor of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India to equip our women members with such skills which suitably groom them to take leadership positions, to handle any challenge with confidence and grace, becoming positive social change for themselves, their families, other women and society at large.
The passion of the student at the school level itself towards the CA course is so much that even a substantial number of female students take courage to complete in one of the toughest examination system in the world. We have a good mix of male and female ratio in the final pass out of chartered accountancy course to facilitate the corporate to hire out of both the genders to ensure a balance of workforce in their organizations.
When you joined this banking arena, and especially when I talk about your current role at Standard Chartered Bank, you have raised the bar of the standards and everyone is actually just talking about the growth that has been seen. So how much do you credit your CA qualification helping you out while dealing with the situations of the banking scenario? Because especially when we talk about a chartered accountant, it is more and more about financial services as well, dealing with the finances. But yes, making a growth to be seen is a task. So how did you do that?
I would say it's some of the qualities that I referred to earlier that when you're doing CA that sort of stays with you. One is hard work. And when you look at your growth, you have to travel through the boulevard of hard work. As a chartered accountant, you are sort of in a way learning. When you're dealing with articleship and exams, you have to work hard. So I would say that quality. The second is when you're doing CA, you always have the fear that, oh, I hope I don't fail, you know, you're always worried you've done well, otherwise
because
academically. So that ability to persevere, that ability, that self-belief that yes, I can do it. All these qualities really help you later on in life, and I would say those qualities have stayed with me from the time I did CA. And also there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs to success. You have to climb, you know, and all these things.
Give yourself a little pain.
Yeah, so all these things I think are qualities that stay with you. And also the self-belief that you can do it. That also helps you. Solution orientation that you have when you're doing your chartered accountancy. You know, how can I do it kind of approach. All these qualities stay with you later in life also.
That's so true. And it's rightly being said, my dear friends, that there is no substitute for hard work. अगर हम अपने शास्त्रों में भी देखें तो उसमें कहा गया है उद्यमेन ही सिद्ध्यन्ति कार्याणि न मनोरथै। यानी अगर आप मेहनत नहीं करेंगे, उद्यम नहीं करेंगे, तो उसके बिना कोई भी काम संपूर्ण नहीं होता। सिर्फ सोच लेने भर से काम पूरा नहीं होता है। there. You actually have to work towards that goal that you have decided.
Absolutely.
So what kind of leadership traits do you think that every chartered accountant also must possess for being a good professional?
I would say leadership traits are very different depending on the situation that you're inheriting, right? And your leadership style has to change with the situation. When I joined Standard Chartered, the performance was not very good, and a lot of the leadership traits were linked to how the situation was and how do you want to change it.
Yes.
So for example, one of the things that I did was I would connect with the front line and understand the pains that they're going through. I put something what I call change agents who would sit and solve issues that the front line was facing. We put process engineers to improve the processes, encouraging the front line to say that believe that you can do it. Unless the front line buys into your strategy, you cannot solve the situation.
Exactly.
So, and then the whole approach is solution orientation. I used to keep telling in my town halls that don't tell me why something can't be done, tell me how it can be done.
How it can be done,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
That's a different approach.
Yeah, so encouraging people to look at challenging status quo and also for people to have self-belief that yes, they can do it.
Yes.
If people believe they can do it, the organization changes, and people also enabling people to perform, And it's very important for a leader not to sit in your ivory tower but connect with a lot of the people until the lowest common denominator in the bank relates to your strategy, you can't make the change.
Exactly.
So I would say your leadership traits have to change depending on the situation. It's not static actually.
So you connect to your people, you go out there and meet them?
Very much. I'm somebody who will, if there's a customer complaint who talks of a certain branch, I'll just pick up the phone on the branch manager and say, why is this issue happening? It also sort of ensures that the branch manager is conscious that if a customer complains, the CEO will give you a call.
Yes.
So that changes the whole service culture. Your values as you become senior is very, very important. It's like your anchor in deep waters when there's a stormy sea, right? It ensures that you take the right decisions, because as leaders you'll always be facing gray situations, and your value system will determine your right decisions.
Exactly.
So I would say that for CAs that's extremely important, ethics and values. The other thing I would say for CAs is we need to unlearn and relearn, because a lot of what you've learned is not going to stand you for beyond 4, 5, 6 years.
Regulations are changing, everything keeps on changing, and yes, we are a developing country undoubtedly. So new things are coming up every day. We need to be updated regarding that.
So it's very important that you shed your old whatever thoughts and old ideas and embrace the new. The situation that's happening thanks to the Ukraine-Russia war, and how do you keep changing your strategy? So it's a dynamic world, and we need to keep on evolving ourselves constantly. That's very important.
And being aware.
Yeah, being aware of what changes are happening and how do you keep changing your strategy and your operational styles to suit that external dynamic. That's very important.
Wonderful. So that's a really good message for all the aspiring CEAs and the ones who are into the fraternity and working in the industry. Yes, we need to learn that how to unlearn, and along with that we should always be ready to learn new things and to be ready to accept the new changes which are happening in the society, because only after that we'll be able to gel with the current development in which we all are. So ma'am, what message you would like to give to all the chartered accountants, of course the fraternity and the aspiring CAs, because there are many more out there, and I'm really happy to share with you that the percentage of women joining to get this qualification of chartered accountancy is getting higher and higher. So what would be your message?
45% now that is joining now,
it's
which is very good. Very good, So I would just say again that I think people should have a lot of self-belief in themselves and unlearn and relearn. And when you go up the ladder, keep your ego on the side. And I think your undoing can be your ego. So I think be very rooted, keep your connect going with the lowest common denominator in the organization when you go up the ladder. and work hard. As I said, there's no substitute to working hard to reach the top. So
There is no elevator.
there's
You
no
have to
elevator.
take the ladder.
Yes, yes.
That's so beautiful, ma'am. It's true as well, because when we have the self-belief that I can do this, then we can convert the statement to I will do this. Only self-belief can bring that change into our statement. So my dear friends, take a note of that. Ma'am, it was really interactive and lovely talking to you. So much information, so much knowledge, and it was really privileged to sit next by to you and talking to you on such subject. But before I bid a goodbye, here is a special segment that I call Shilpa Bhawana Special. So that's a rapid fire.
Okay.
I'll say one word. After hearing to that word, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? You have to say that. Banking.
Great place to work.
Academics.
You have to go through being a postgraduate because that's the only way to succeed.
Women leader.
Lots to look forward to being a
Okay.
woman leader.
And chartered accountant.
Great qualification to have.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India.
Great institute to be a member of.
And Ms. Zarin B Daruwala. What would you say about her?
I think that you have to say, not me.
I must say that you are a lovely lady with a golden heart and really good professional dynamics. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
Same here, ma'am. After having the outstanding talk with CA Zarin B Daruwala, I can actually say that ability of any person doesn't depend on how well he or she has planned, but it depends on how well he or she stands or faces any kind of challenge when everything that they have planned gets failed. And the qualification of chartered accountancy actually equips you with that improvisation skill. On behalf of Committee for Members in Industry and Business, this is Shilpa Bhawana signing out for today, but we'll see you next time again with more such success stories from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the successful chartered accountants. My dear friends, thanks a lot. Jai Hind.